Okay. So what we will do today, we will discuss at the theory something of default routing. Then we'll go through the lab. So first, a default routing protocol is a configured for unknown destination address. So actually, whenever we don't know the destination, our destination means our source is like your PC. And the destination you can assume like Google. The Google IPR, any different applications, you don't know the IP addresses of those. So that time, what you will do? Just simply will configure as a default routing. So for example, you have sit here and you connected with access switch and access switch just to connect it to your PC. Or you connected through Wi-Fi. You can assume this is a Wi-Fi device. It's router and router is connected to one core device, it's branch device, and this branch device is connected to some application. Otherwise, in your home network, you can assume like it's your home router, it's your laptop, and this one is your modem, and through modem you connected Wi-Fi through Wi-Fi. So in your PC, in your laptop, just use your command prompt. There you can use like IP config. Then definitely you will get a one private IP address. So private to public, how it will be routable with the help of NAT. This is your modem. Modem is again connected to some ISP, whichever you have taken the service. Definitely through cable only, they will provide you the service. Otherwise, nowadays the without connectivity of cable also that is via again the connectivity is there through Wi-Fi or radiation something whichever the connectivity is possibility is there. So the private to public, it will how it will be happen. We'll discuss later on. Public, it will be there we need a NAT service. So definitely we'll discuss later on NAT service also. Before that, it's kind of your IP address is something and destination is here something. That is we don't know. That is we don't know. So that time we have a protocol that is default routing protocol. Through default routing protocol, we can achieve that. So it's mostly when we are using internet, that time we'll use this default routing protocol. Generally, we use this concept in case of internet connections, where destination addresses will be unknown. Destination addresses will be unknown. This concept of default routing reduce the size of routing table. I'll show you in lab. I'll prove you. Yesterday, we configured static routing. So every route we configured. If you want, you can verify yesterday lab also. I do have yesterday lab. So here, it will be reduce the size of routing table and default routing works only in one-way direction. I'll explain you what is one-way direction and also can be used to at end location where there is an only one exit path for any direction, any destination. So it will be also can use it for end location. The end location means just now I have explained. This is your end location. Here we have a application something for FB. FB behind some application some IP address will work. How it will be converted through DNS, domain name server, domain name server DNS. It will be convert IP address to something you can assume like this is a 1.1.1.1. This is the IP address of FB. It will be convert from IP to domain, domain to IP address. So you are planning to access FB server is so you can access. We don't know the IP address. I simply have written here, but we don't know the FB IP address. So that is end location, end IP address. That is what. So even though we don't know, we can access this through default routing. So that is what end location. And default route help in reducing size of routing table is if the router do not found entry for the destination network in routing table, the route will be forwarded the packet to its default route. Whenever the in routing table, I'll show you here we have some routes. I'll access this router, enable. So show IP route through this command, we can check the routing table. We have a route 192.168.20.0. This is a subnet mask, and this one is here, and this is our this one, and this one is here. You can check and 30. Yes, we have 30 dot also, and 20 also, and here you can check well also. Yes, here we have a 10 also, 10 also, this one. So same connected route and 11 also. So every destination we have, if this destination we don't have, that time if you configure as a 0.0.0, that is default route, so that time it will be forward to that every packets on that route, on that route. So it will be forward through that packet. If the router do not found entry of for any destination for the destination network in the routing table, the router will forward the packets to its default route. If it will not found anything, then it will forward to this entire thing to default route. Last preferred route in the routing table. It's a last preferred routing table. So we'll go through the configuration part. Same lab I'll take here, and I'll remove the previous configuration here. I'll remove entire previous configuration. So I have removed. So for time safety purpose, if you want, you can remove through no commands. So here you can check. So same, I'll use enable show IP route. Yesterday configuration only what we did. So here I'll explain you again. So we have a who and all miss the class. Just re-verify it here. So first, I have taken three routers. You can assume three branches, branch one, branch two, branch three, and three routers are directly connected to every router. And here we have a this is a WAN connectivity, and these are the our LAN users. These are the our LAN users, and these are the LAN IP address 1, LAN IP address 2, LAN IP address 3, LAN IP address 192.168.10.1 and 20.1 and 30.1. These are the subnets we have. These are the subnets for the WAN. This one and this one. I have configured. So you can verify in show running configuration. Show running configuration. So here you can verify. And if you want to verify IP route also show IP route. So here, whichever the directly connected, those routes only directly connected. The you can check 11.1.1.1. It's directly connected, and 192.168.10.1. It's directly connected. Those are the directly connected networks only. We don't have the neighbor prefixes, but our task is we how to communicate neighbor prefixes. But the condition is here we don't know the neighbor IP addresses. So because then only I can configure the default route. So we don't know the neighbor IP addresses, but I need to communicate this user and this user and this user. I don't know. Earlier in static route, we should have to know, then only we can configure the static routing. But in default routing, the difference is if you don't know the destination IP address also, you can configure it. It will be work. So how we'll configure default route? So the command is simple, IP route. So it's very easy. And subnet mask is and IP address as well 0 and 0.0.0 and subnet mask as well as 0. 0.0.0.0. This is the prefix. And this my prefix is whenever the it means 0.0.0 means in that we have a 1.4 billions of IP addresses. Sorry. In IPv4 and IP version 4, we have 4.7 billion IP addresses. So class A, class B, class C, class we have a different classes. In that class, if you want to ping any IP address, yes, it will be pingable because it comes under entire IP address 2 to the power of 32. 32. The value will come this much value 4.7 billion. So that many IP addresses it will be available in this. The only one line command, but it will be route will be routes are available entire IPv4 prefixes. So after then we have to give the next hope IP address. The next hope IP address of 11.1.1.2. This is the IP address 11.1.1.2. So on which through these LAN users on exit they need from exit point. This is the entry point for him. Then they need to exit. They want to communicate somewhere. So they need a exit point. So our exit point here, this is the IP address. So we have to give 11.1.1.2. This is the IP address of exit point. So here you can configure 11.1.1.2. That much only. And same thing will configure. This is only one line configuration. If you want to check, show IP route. Through this command, we can verify it. So earlier, no routing is there. So this is the prefix and subnet mask is 0. And via, this is the way. This is the exit point of this router. Exit point of this route. And exit point. This is what one-way communication. So one way we configured and here you can check in theory default route work only in one way direction. This is what it will be work in one way direction. So now done. Now configure here enable config T and IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0. And next hope IP address of this. Before that, we'll try to ping uh, 192.168.20.10 IP address. Try to ping 192 dot this IP address. I'll check I have configured or not. Yes, I have configured and I have given the default gateway also. We'll try to check the ping is working or not on this route. So ping 192.168.20.10. So it will be not a pingable. What I will do, so request timeout will get. So I'll use here continuous ping. So I'll enter this command now. And my exit interface for this here, this is what this is my exit interface for him, and this is exit front interface for him. exit IP address. So next hop IP address, sorry. Exit interface means this one, and next hop IP address is this one. Next hop IP address. This is the next hop IP address. Next hop IP address. Next hop IP address. So here 11.1.1.1. This is my next hop IP address. Just I have hit enter. Now you can check the ping is start working. So ping is start working now. Earlier RTO request timeout. Now we can able to ping just one line command. So it is very easy. Default configuration. Default routing is very easy. But the problem is here, it is unsecure. So we will use in real time. So where we'll use in real time actually, where is the destination is. So you can assume this is your router and you have multiple users or multiple access switches are connected, but you'll use here firewall and this is the internet likewise. This is the users you can assume. So simple connectivity I am showing here. These are the users and it connected to firewall. This is a firewall. Yes, you can use here default routing. If any traffic is coming from outside, just need it should have to enter in firewall and firewall will filter the traffic. If it is secure, then only it will be allowed inside. Otherwise, it will be drop the traffic. So whichever the originating our traffic from inside to outside also, first it will be filter. Then if it is secure traffic, then it will be it will be transfer outside. Otherwise, it will be drop here only. That is what we'll use firewall in real time. So now configuration is done. We can able to ping, and if you try to ping from 30. Network is 3192.168.30.10. So no ping. Ping is not happen because we haven't configured up till we configured only this direction. We haven't configured on this direction. So we'll configure on same direction here also. So what we'll do in router to IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0 subnet mask also 0 and 12.1.1.2 is the next hop IP address. This is the next hop IP address. Just hit enter. Just one line command here also. Before that, we'll continuous ping this -t. So I'll use the same command here, but I'll change the next hop IP address. Enable config t and IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0 and next hop IP address is for this router is 12.1.1.1. This is the way 12.1.1.1. Can check now? Yes, we can able to ping only one line command. We can able to reach from this source to this destination. We don't know this destination, even though we are getting the reply. We are getting the reply from which PC. PC0 is this PC. And we can able to ping PC4. The PC4 is different location. So default routing is much more easy, better than static and default routes. Show IP route. You can verify through this command. default routing. This is all about the default routing. If you have any questions, ask me.
I had a question.
Yes.
Okay, when we are connecting yesterday for the static router, we have uh, connected by using the not only the default like something like 11.1 point something those gateways, right? We have connected using the IP address also, right? For the router. You remember in between the VLAN also we have connected, right? We don't need to do so the same way for the default routing.
Between, you mean to say this is a VLAN we configured in earlier tasks.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are the
yeah,
VLANs.
yeah.
And just tell me, Raj, whichever the
What?
VLAN you have configured VLAN 10, that time you configured as a, you given the IP addresses for them, right? That one single individual prefix assigned to that VLAN, right? So yes, those prefixes are only those if you want to route from one location to other location, you need a routing table, routing protocols. Otherwise, you cannot able to route it without routing protocols. Even though you are configuring your LAN prefix VLANs also, that time those VLAN having prefixes, IP addresses. If you want to route from router, so need a routing protocol. Without routing, you cannot. So for that, you can use static routing, default routing, and dynamic routing. So in real time, that will be happen on what you are thinking. That is the happen. Clear?
Okay. We have to connect whether it might be a default or static. The
Yeah.
gateways
Mostly we'll use default
to and
routing.
fro,
Mostly we'll
to
use
and
dynamic routing protocols. So
mhm.
here we have some dynamic. So default part done. Now move to here dynamic routing protocols. Types of dynamic routing protocol. So we have distance vector, link state, hybrid. For that we have RIP protocol and EIGRP protocol, OSPF routing protocol, and ISIS. These are the IGP internal protocol, internal IGP protocol, internal gateway protocol, and we have another protocol, exterior gateway protocol, that is BGP. So these are the dynamic routing protocol. If you want, say yes, we'll configure mostly dynamic routing protocols only. At some less cases only, we'll use static and default. And default routing will use definitely with end location. At end location, when we don't know the destination IP address, yes, we definitely will use in real time also. I am not denying like we are not using. So in static routing also we'll use. You should have to know entire routing concepts. Okay, we'll use this static routing also. In big organizations also they will use. It means so point to point connectivity. It means point one point is here, one point is here inside only. So definitely we'll use inside location. Static routing only will use it, and it is more secure also. And it is more secure also. Static is more secure. Okay, fine. Today we discussed default routing and static routing. Yesterday we discussed. Okay.